The Jesus Great, the Carpenter's Son, long inspirational story. Many years ago, in a small village called Nazareth, there lived a poor young man named Samuel. He worked as a carpenter just as his father had done before him. Every day he made tables, chairs, doors, and wooden tools for the villagers. Though he worked hard, life was never easy. Samuel often looked at the wealthy merchants in the marketplace and wondered why God had blessed them while he struggled to earn enough bread for his family. As the years passed, bitterness slowly filled his heart. One day, a traveler arrived in Nazareth. He spoke about a teacher named Jesus who was healing the sick, helping the poor, and teaching people about God's kingdom. The traveler said, "I have never seen anyone like him. He speaks with love, and people leave his presence changed forever." Samuel listened carefully but remained doubtful. "How can one man change the world?" he asked. The traveler smiled. "Come and see for yourself." A few weeks later, Samuel heard that Jesus would be speaking in a nearby town. Curious, he decided to go. Thousands of people had gathered. Some were sick, some were poor, some were rich, some were sinners seeking forgiveness. Then Jesus began to speak. His voice was calm yet powerful. "Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall receive mercy. Love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you." Samuel had never heard words like these before. Most teachers spoke about power and success. Jesus spoke about love. Most leaders demanded respect. Jesus showed humility. Most people sought wealth. Jesus taught kindness. For the first time in years, Samuel felt peace. After the crowd dispersed, Samuel returned home. But life did not suddenly become easier. He was still poor. He still worked long hours. He still faced problems. Yet something inside him had changed. He remembered the words of Jesus every day. Months later, a severe drought struck the region. Crops failed, food became scarce, families began to suffer. Fear spread through the villages. Many people became selfish and refused to help others. Samuel also struggled. His savings were almost gone. His family often went to bed hungry. One evening, while returning from work, Samuel met an old widow sitting beside the road. She was weak and starving. Samuel looked into his bag. Inside was the last loaf of bread he had for his family. For a moment he hesitated. Then he remembered Jesus. Love one another. Without saying a word, he handed the bread to the widow. She looked at him with tears in her eyes. "May God bless you," she whispered. Samuel walked home with an empty bag and a worried heart. How would he explain this to his family? When he arrived, he found something unexpected. A neighbor stood outside his house. "My brother," the neighbor said, "today my relatives brought more food than we need. Please accept this gift." Samuel was amazed. The food was enough for several days. That night he understood an important lesson. When we help others, God often provides in ways we cannot imagine. Years passed. Samuel continued to live according to the teachings of Jesus. He became known throughout the region as a kind and honest man. People trusted him. They sought his advice. They admired his character. Yet Samuel always said, "Do not praise me. Praise the one who changed my heart." One winter, a terrible sickness spread across nearby villages. Many people fled in fear. Others locked themselves inside their homes. But Samuel remembered how Jesus cared for the sick. Every day he visited the suffering. He brought water. He brought food. He prayed with them. Some people warned him, "You may become sick yourself." Samuel replied, "If Jesus taught us to love our neighbors, then love must be stronger than fear." For weeks he served tirelessly. Eventually, he too became ill. His family feared for his life. Lying in bed, weak and exhausted, Samuel prayed, "Lord, whether I live or die, help me trust you." Days later, he slowly recovered. The villagers celebrated his recovery. Many of them asked, "Why did you risk your life for us?" "For," Samuel answered, "because Jesus risked everything for humanity." The years continued to pass. Samuel grew old. His hair turned gray. His hands became rough from decades of work. One evening, sitting outside his small home, he watched the sunset and reflected on his life. He had never become rich. He had never become famous. He had never owned great lands or treasures. Yet he felt richer than any king. His children loved him. His neighbors respected him. His heart was full of peace. A young boy approached him and asked, "Grandfather Samuel, what is the secret to a happy life?" Samuel smiled. "The world will tell you to seek money, power, and fame." The boy listened carefully. But Jesus taught something greater. "What is it?" the boy asked. Samuel looked toward the sky. "Love God, love people, forgive others, help those in need, walk in faith, and never lose hope." The boy nodded. Years later, after Samuel had passed away, the people of the village still remembered him, not because he was wealthy, not because he was powerful, but because he lived like Jesus taught. His kindness had touched countless lives, his faith had inspired generations, and his story continued to remind people of a simple truth. True greatness is not found in wealth, power, or fame. True greatness is found in love, compassion, faith, and service to others. And that is why the message of Jesus Christ remains alive today, because his love changes hearts, his mercy restores lives, and his light continues to shine even in the darkest place